All right, we're live, baby. Yeah.
Man, we start off not strong at all sometimes.
Never.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you here again for joining us on a beautiful Saturday night.
What, yeah.
Got Chris McGraw on the ones and the twos. Got Pat Lynch about to cry and complain as usual. And I got me one of my favorite beers, a Hoegaarden. It's going to be a good night.
Turn mine down a little bit, please.
What do you mean?
Turn my headphones down a little, please.
I don't think I will.
Joe's got like a nice mic here.
What? Can't hear.
I got to see how I look, boys. Can't have the ladies be all depressed at
Does
how
that
good
work
I
for
look.
you, Pat?
I don't really notice the difference, but okay.
Let me know now.
That's better. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, it's all right.
Much appreciated. Can you hear me okay, Chris?
Could be worse.
Yeah,
Could be worse.
you're living rent free again.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again
Kinda
for joining us on a
Saturday
beautiful Saturday night. We got lots to talk about. Last week's podcast, one of my favorites, episode 181. We are at 182. We're getting closer to 200, and we got to do something fun.
Oh, we're gonna put. You know what we're gonna do? Pepsi's gonna host the podcast. It's
Pepsi's
just gonna be him by himself in the middle.
For 100 for 200 episodes, just Pepsi. I like it.
Just Pepsi for number 2. Ooh, it's not bad. The
he's
whole
gonna,
pretty
gonna
good.
read are you garbage questions to himself and see if he's garbage.
Oh, we already know. Pepsi's the most garbage there is.
He's gonna
But
That's gonna be the Pepsi.
the reason I
Power
bring up
Hour.
182 is I was hoping that 182 was going to, or 181 was going to be a banger because that was such a fun podcast. Boys. But we are up 4 subscribers, so
4, Pat.
we're
4.
at 108. We're doing well. We just got to get to that 1,000 mark. That's going to
Ghost
be so
counts. We need what you said 1,000. Long way to go, people.
We got it. We're 10% of the way there,
good.
baby.
We'll get there. Hey, think about it. If we ever do get our office space, our new podcast home is going to be amazing.
Cool.
It'll be
Is it gonna be in the
It won't be
basement?
this dingy basement.
I actually don't mind the basement.
It'll be the other
as
dingy
always.
basement.
It'll be another dingy
Yeah.
basement. I got to double check that. That said something when I started recording this. It gave me a little like, and I hope it's still recording.
With that thing or that thing?
That thing did. When I flipped the camera, I don't know if it always does that or if I just noticed this for the first time.
Baby.
As you can tell, this is not the most well-run podcast, but we have fun. This week's podcast, though, was the easiest ever catching the lips to the volume, like the actual voices. Oh, I was so proud of myself. If you go look at that one, it's tremendous.
Awesome.
Absolutely tremendous. How we doing, boys?
I was going to compliment you. Said you did a great job with that, Peter.
What's up?
I was going to tell you that you did a great job with that.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. Hopefully you listen.
No, he doesn't.
It was a good podcast.
He's lying to you.
The clip this week was awesome too. All your garbage cars are amazing. As you know, you can't really tell because I have the hat on backwards.
Oh, he's gonna represent.
What's the story behind Aunt Tutty?
Aunt Tootie, you dum
Tootsie?
dum. Aunt Tootie. It's Aunt Tootie's basement. That's how. But where the Are You Garbage is filmed is in Aunt Tootie's basement.
Got it.
Come on, buddy. All right, Pat. Give me your top 3 podcasts. What do you listen to?
I don't listen to a ton right now, to be honest. I guess I probably listen to like a Dateline every once in a while here.
Love me a Dateline, baby.
Listen to Are You Garbage?
Maybe a little. I guess I listen to whatever podcast you have on during the weekend.
Okay, that's a lot.
And the S&P podcast.
Of course, the S&P podcast, naturally, of course.
Naturally.
And then I probably listen to
Naturally.
Let me look it up.
Oh man, dude, this beer. God, does that help? What a long week, huh, Chris?
Yes, Pat. Look up all your podcasts.
I like a radio rental when it's in season. That's
What
pretty
is
good.
that?
It's got like scary story, like true stories. People talk about like scary or true events that happened to them in real life.
Oh, I don't like real stuff. I just like when
the murder
husband
stuff-
kills
the murder
wives or
stuff.
wives kill husbands. That's all I want to
And
hear
then
about.
mostly crime podcasts, to be honest.
Yeah. Chris, what are you listening to these days?
I listen to one thing and one thing only:
The Sound of Silence.
the S&P podcast.
That's what I like to hear. Would you ever buy your own, like, would you ever buy like a beer meets food T-shirt or anything?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. If I see, I've looked at him. I was gonna get you one of these like the sweaters I'm kind of wearing. He has a bunch like on there.
Oh, nice.
I
And
wasn't
I was
making
gonna
fun
get
of
you
him.
one, but Lauren's already probably pissed off with you about how many sweaters you have. So I was
Oh,
like,
I
I'm
know.
gonna skip getting
Well,
one.
here's a couple funny
I mean, I
things.
wasn't making fun of you having merch.
No, I don't care. You can make fun of me all you want. We bust each other's balls. It's all good.
Yeah,
I'm
Patch.
not one to talk about merch and stuff.
I don't give a shit.
We're gonna Tony Reale you here and mute your mic for a minute.
We should get some games going here with Pat. No. Actually, talking about sweaters, I might have to throw out a couple sweaters. Tulsi Gabbard is a potential candidate for Trump's VP.
Oh yes,
Wasn't she a
What
Democrat?
a sweater!
She was a Democrat. She ran as a Democrat for president versus Trump, and now it could potentially be his vice president. And I don't care to say this.
How does that work?
I don't know because I don't know what happened, but listen, I think Trump I think that whole is evil, and I think I don't care if you think the arguments for him doing anything right is very far and few between. and I think his rhetoric is terrible.
You don't want gas being back at $1.99 a gallon?
His rhetoric about
I wouldn't complain about that.
They called the January 6th rioters hostages. That's what he calls them.
Yeah, they are.
That's
Hostages.
insane. But I was going to get
We digress.
Some Robert Kennedy merch though. He just picked his vice president.
Is it Aaron Rodgers?
No, Aaron Rodgers fell out of.
Some woman, I think, right?
It is a lady who is a lawyer, an environmental lawyer.
Okay.
The reason she is given the opportunity, I think, though, is because she's a billionaire. You know how she became a billionaire?
Invested in Robert F. Kennedy.
Nope.
Merchandise.
She divorced a billionaire.
Oh, yes. Oh, is it Ted Bezos' ex-wife?
No, it is.
Oh, boo.
It is
That'd
actually
be a nice way to be a billionaire. So if any billionaires are looking for
a woman,
or a
Nancy
man.
Pelosi, or a man. Hello.
And for me, I'm willing to.
That's like
couple $1 billion, baby.
He's about to start work. He's going back to do taxes. He's ready.
couple $1 billion. You know.
okay,
I'm
her
in.
name is Nicole Shanahan.
I guess it's not her maiden name, I assume, because I don't know any billionaire Shanahans.
Do you want to hear her crazy part of her story?
Sure.
This is I'm sure she's done amazing things. She's an environmental lawyer, yada yada yada. But the funny part is, the reason she's divorced actually is because her ex-husband supposedly found out that her and Elon Musk were having an affair, which she adamantly denies. But as soon as he heard that,
this is the Google lady. She was married to the Google guy, right?
Yep. And as soon as she heard that,
Oh, nice.
he said bye-bye.
Hey, she's got some. She knows how to pick them. She likes them. She likes the money.
Very rich.
I still
very, very rich.
He missed the opportunity of having Jesse the Body.
Oh, yeah? How's Jesse
The Jesse the Body Ventura as vice president.
I love
The
it.
conspiracy theories. It's back, baby.
I would love to have him as. You can have.
We can annex
conspiracy theory hour from the vice president's office. I'm all in on that.
We can annex.
That's a podcast I'd listen to.
We can annex the Baja to call it Baja Soda, like everybody else makes fun of it for.
No, but here's the thing. Everybody wants Trump back so they can all get the impersonations. I mean, the Body Ventura's impersonation is tremendous.
God. Will Sasso.
Oh,
there's
the best.
There's a wrestler who does Jesse the Body Ventura. Glorious.
I thought he was like on the outs. I thought he had gotten. When I heard he could potentially be a vice president candidate, I truly thought he was on the outs. Like people thought he was like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Is Robert Kennedy polling at any kind of?
Yes,
numbers?
So I think it's 37 or 36% in some polls, and who knows what the poll, but 36 I think Biden, 35 Trump, 17%. Robert, and then there's like a 4.
So he's got a long way to go.
4% for Barack.
Is he going to be on the ballot in all the states?
He's fighting for that. And they do this on purpose so that you can't get on the states. Like Nevada, you have to have your vice president picked before
The problem he's got is that like people aren't going to vote for him because
I guess you didn't want to hear that story, but okay, go ahead.
I would like to know about Nevada.
No, it's okay. Go ahead, Pat.
Nevada. I was saying it's interesting because I think that he's probably going to take votes away from people that vote for Biden most likely.
They don't, so they're not sure where he'll take them from because
he's so crazy too.
No, he does have a lot of he's
like Bernie Sanders. He slide like a fox.
No, he does pull from
Bernie still alive?
The Republican Party. He's a little bit more middle, but he also does pull from the Biden camp too. So it's kind of they do like Pat's right. They do yes, but they're just not sure who exactly he'll get pulled from because they originally thought that Robert F. Kennedy, as a Democrat, was going to screw. If he stayed in, he would screw Biden. When he went independent, all the Fox News, like everybody who's having him on and stuff, were like, whoa, we can't have you pulling from Trump as an independent. So they're just not sure how it's all going to work.
That was how Clinton got elected back in the day.
Yes, because Ross Perot. Yeah, he pulled too many from George W.
Took HW out.
Am I coming in a little hot, Chris? What do you think?
No, you're good.
Okay.
That Ross Perot on Saturday Night Live with Dana Carvey. Oh, golden.
Yes, good.
Back to Nevada. What's going on with Nevada and the vice president?
So they make the rules because they don't want a third party on any of the ballots, really. So they make it almost impossible. And remind me about Hillary Clinton because this happened to her too when she was going up against Trump. They think, but Nevada is one of those states where you have to have a vice president pick to be able to get on the ballot. If you're not a Democrat or Republican candidate that was chosen,
really. Okay. Let's talk about Hillary Clinton.
They think. Well, one of her reasons that she thought that
she Trump's vice president.
No, that'd be great. One of the reasons she thinks, or they say that she lost was because Jill Stein took too many votes away from her in Wisconsin. And that ultimately was her demise in Wisconsin and then losing to Trump.
Who's Jill Stein?
She was like the independent that ran.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Justin. Didn't know you were.
Pat, you don't know anybody. You read a goddamn
Yeah,
book,
God.
Mohammed.
All right, Joe.
Jesus.
Get it together, buddy.
I mean, even I don't listen to
I feel
news
like
that
I'm
much, and I knew who she was.
You listen to him, so it's,
Last week, okay, so let's go over last week. Last week was a good time. If you're new to the podcast, we start with a little bit of current events, a little BS, and you know how pregame goes. Then we jump into like last week and how trying to remember last weekend as well as I
remember last
should.
weekend.
I thought it was. I thought one thing I thought we all did really well is get lots of water. The other thing I remember is me and Franklin kicking everybody's butt in
You clearly did.
shuffleboard.
Franklin has a hell of a touch on the shuffleboard.
Nope. In the beginning, he was on fire. At the end, when it was me, Brian versus him and Mark, not so good.
Oh, yeah, the Hamilton clan of good at random sports. Nice.
Oh yeah, Mark was
surprisingly all right that
yeah.
game.
He was not bad.
It's bullshit. He was sober.
I love Mark, but Mark, like, it's tough. Like, you try to talk to him, and it's like it's like throwing
I had a nice little chat with him, catching up.
throwing like water at the wall. It just drips off. Nothing catching, boys. Nice guy though.
He needs a few libations to get loose,
Yeah, a little.
He was he got the whole entire the gamut run on him when he first got there. It was like everybody was
you should
asking
got paid
if
more
he
for
was-
that.
Everybody was asking if he was drinking or not.
And he's like, no.
Yeah, Pat was like the fourth or fifth person to do it, and I was in front of him. I was talking to Mark, and Pat's like, "You're drinking?" And he's like, "Why is this such a thing?"
I was gonna buy him a drink. Like, I
That's
wasn't
it.
trying
'Cause
to be
we're
a
all,
dick about it.
we're all just nice guys who want to buy people drinks.
I'm like, do you want the weed thing? Yeah, that's kinda like, I'll get you a weed cocktail.
I meant to ask Joe. I wanted to see what he thought of that. The steak fritz and Momo Bagambi in Chicago is amazing. The food was tremendous. Probably went a little too hard on the appetizers because we really didn't crush the appetizers as much as we probably should have. Steaks were amazing. And that a great base layer because I had a shot. I think I had 3 shots, and I felt 1,000 times better last Sunday than I did the Sunday before that when I didn't eat. I will never not eat and drink again. It's over. It's game over, boys. Got to have that base. You don't have the base, it's going to be a rough day.
It does hurt.
And I did feel bad. Like I wanted to stay at that second bar, but Joe was not feeling that bar at all.
No,
And I
he was
wasn't
not.
either. I wasn't either really. I get it. Like we want to go dancing, but not a lot of people also want to go dancing. And I felt like
I mean, honestly, this funny part of the bars we went to, that was the fullest bar of the group that we went to. All of them, I think.
that last one.
No, the second one. It was
Oh, I'm
probably
sorry,
as
you're
full-
100% right, yeah.
Fullest bar of all the ones we went to in the evening.
Enjoy tremendous,
Very
but
dead.
very dead. In Lottie's, is that area just maybe starting to be not as?
Well, I think probably was there anything? It was games. Was
Well,
that-
you had the
were there
NCAA tournament
So
first
people
week.
probably went out early, and they were probably got a little too loosey goosey early
I
in the
get
day.
that. Yeah.
And then they were probably by the time we got there 10:30, 11 o'clock, most people probably like had dipped out. Probably a lot of people because you just been drinking all day and
Well, we got to Lottie's
late,
at like
late, yeah,
one,
like one something. Yeah. So
yeah.
it was probably like that was probably part of it.
I also did appreciate getting home at like 2:30. That was great. I love when I love when anybody calls it around 1 or 1:30 and
It
we're
would have been
out
better.
of there.
Yeah, it would have been better to get home a little bit earlier.
Yeah, like
but
2.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could use a little more sleep. That it's always
Yeah, just
But
that's
I mean,
the hardest part
but
of
there
it
was,
all.
But there was characters out that were still out drinking.
That
and
yeah, we hadn't been
on
out.
set.
Yeah.
That normally don't make that.
then they had to get the attendees for life, baby.
Oh man,
You know what though? That non-sleep on Sunday f's my life up so bad.
Oh, it's such a bitch.
I was not normal. I swear, because we can't get enough sleep. I was not normal till Wednesday this week.
Monday,
Oh, yeah,
Monday
the
is such
catch-up.
a
Not that I'm hungover. It's just
Yeah, I'm
the
tired.
amount of sleep.
Monday's such a brutal day.
Oh,
I say it's just
even if you don't drink,
Yeah,
it's just a
you
brutal
just
day.
got to get the day. It's hard to get motivation. I'm sitting there on my screen like, I'm lost as long as my arm to do stuff, and I'm like, I don't want to do any of this.
And especially you work so hard. We're working so hard on the weekends, then to go and just like you have to restart and be like ready to go on Monday. It's
Game
so
on.
tough, dude.
Game on.
It is. This is the toughest time of the year. This next 2 weeks is just hell week for us. It is miserable.
it's not a fun time.
But we whine, we bitch, we moan, and we're still here.
We
It's
got
having a
first
good
world
time.
problems, man.
Oh yeah, dude.
First world problems.
Super blessed. But I wish the economy would turn in my favor a little bit. I was always looking at houses, and then just to get a mortgage right now, the amount of mortgage on like a $400,000 house is insane.
It's muy pricey.
It's
the
insane. There's no reason for me to ever leave my apartment until the housing interest rates come in reasonable. I'm not even asking for 4, 3, 4. Like give me a 4.5% mortgage.
You should look for
rate.
some kind of on your next lease if you're thinking it might happen in that year that you might want to some kind of exit plan to get the out of lease early.
Yeah. It's not a bad move. I know I got to talk to
Just
Lauren.
just have an option there.
Lauren sends me these houses, and I feel bad. I feel like I'm almost like you.
Peter McGraw's walking in, like Vince
no.
McMahon, no chance.
I mean, my lease just literally says I'm booked from like April to blah blah blah. If I leave early, there's like no punishment for me leaving early or anything.
Well, I mean, technically, you're on the hook for that lease. Depending how if the landlord wants to play that hard, you owe that. You've committed to being in the apartment for that time.
Yeah, they can take me to court.
That's what I'm saying. It depends. It depends on the landlord how they want to play it.
Yeah.
Most landlords, like in our situation, I would just be like, you don't want to keep someone there that doesn't want to be there, and you let them go.
Exactly.
Most people will.
Because I will do damage, Pat Lynch.
Yeah, most people probably
I'll
will.
do. You got my security deposit, baby. Good luck with it.
I got him. You got my moving fee. From
Yeah,
3 years ago.
You
I'm
can get
pretty sure
anything
you
else.
spent it.
Oh, they did the moving fees, yeah, because no one wants to hold security
No,
deposits.
dude. So Chris will see this guy. He lived in New York. He had to put it in a JP Morgan Chase account. It's a special account that is called like the Reiner's account.
Yep. You're supposed to do here too.
And that's insane.
And also, they give you, if you look at the interest rates, the Chicago prints their interest rates, their own interest rates for the year. So whether they match up with the actual bank interest or not, you might be paying more interest than you're actually getting on that money. Potentially.
Oh, nice.
Like Chicago,
What
if you look at the Center Chicago lease, it has the interest rates on the last page for the security deposits if you're holding one
Yikes.
by year.
Yeah, there's no advantageous to holding a security deposit.
No.
I mean,
Nope.
Most of the time, the doesn't cover whatever they fucked up anyways.
Again, first world problems. There was something I wanted to go into that. Oh, I talked about the politics. We did talk about this a little bit already, so I don't know how much you guys want to dig into it. But the Baltimore Bridge collapse, and you know what, Pat? I got to give it to you. For me, it looked like I was with all the conspiracy guys. Like it had to implode. Like what the hell? How did this happen? And Pat's like, it's a suspension bridge. You cut one of the suspensions, it's all going down. And I'm like, damn it. There's always like just common sense things. There is some, like, I get it. It looks weird, but as a suspension bridge, you're right. Like you knock out one of the big supports. There's no suspension.
Yeah, and then you got to imagine what's hitting it is like the size of like a small, like a building basically hitting it.
Yeah, but if you watch when it first came out on the news, they didn't show the boat hitting. It was at night,
Yeah,
and all you see is this bridge come down.
this
It looks like
goes-
literally looks like a demo.
Yeah.
It does. You're right.
It looks
yeah,
like a controlled explosion almost.
Exactly. Yeah.
And when you talk about like it's just common sense when you look at it, and it's like no, that totally makes sense. Like why it looks like it was demoed is because it's literally like it's not string,
Like if you
it's almost string.
Yeah, like if you hit if like something hit like one of the bridges downtown, they probably wouldn't give as easily.
No, because it's more
it's steel,
steel.
yeah.
Yeah. And that's cheaper, and it's actually more flexible, more sustainable. But
Do you know how much that bridge cost to build originally?
Oh no, I know what it's gonna. I've heard estimates of what it's gonna cost.
It was $60 million originally. They said it's going to cost at least 10 times that.
$60 million.
It was originally $60 million. It was going to be 10 times that.
$600 million now. Oh,
Do you know when it was built? Like, that's so insane.
I forget. I think I did see this. I forget the exact.
Damn, $60 million, and it's gonna cost them. I don't know about you guys, but every time I go over the Sky Bridge in Chicago, my butt tuckers a little bit. I don't like going up that bridge because if you get stuck there
I can't
at
say I
all,
go there too often. It was about 1972. It started in 1972. The Francis Key Bridge was started.
and it's
so 50
come
years.
on, and it's 60 times that.
I know it's
temporary
I know
closed.
it's not funny, but it says temporary closed on Google.
That's not good.
Google nailing it.
That's
Temporarily.
someone's having.
How long do you think it's going to take to rebuild that?
I mean, I think that what they said they're going to do is they're going to clear the middle so boats can get through, and then they're going to start rebuilding that. But it's probably going to take a couple years at least, right? Because you got to imagine they're going to build it a little differently this time.
Well, how long?
Because it's such an important.
How long did
bridge.
it take for that bridge that collapsed or caught fire in Philadelphia?
I think that's already open and like
Yeah, they're gonna
They're gonna go to
That's
work.
another reason they think it's going to cost so much. So they're going to pour a bunch of money to make it
get
run
it done
over-
as fast
yeah,
as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I get why the infrastructure bill it's a sticking point for a lot because they just put so much BS into it. And if it was just a straight infrastructure bill, I think more people would be aboard on it. But we really do need an infrastructure bill. How many bridges have you seen in Chicago? Lauren and I, get Lauren back in the running. We ran under a bridge today, and I was looking at the bases on all of them. They're all like rusted as a motherfucker. And these bridges hold huge, metro trains coming through. And I'm like, what are we doing here? This is not good.
And the Amtrak.
There's a one, I think, if you go down Foster, the red line or whatever that runs down there, it literally, like that bridge, looks like you put like a couple car jacks underneath the train tracks to hold the train tracks up. Because
what about the one on
bridge is falling
Cicero?
apart.
That one scares the crap out of me.
Forget about
Which one?
all these.
The one on
Best
Cicero.
Bend?
Yeah, the one by you almost. That one scares the crap out of me. You know how many accidents hitting that aspect? Yeah.
Yeah, because people don't know how to drive through.
No, yeah. And then you're going a little too fast, and that's crazy.
It should not be 2 lanes going through that.
No, well, it's tough because you need, dude.
It's just very narrow for 2 lanes for 2 cars, making that hard cut.
You know what's killing me is so on Friday, I work at the doctor's, and I'm coming home, and Google gave me some weird way. They're like the 294's jacked up, so we're gonna send you this back route, and the back route like sidewinds with the 294.
Peter's watching 294 fly,
absolutely fly. Like, and then but there's construction in this back road. I'm sitting in 1 lane traffic.
Peter's like, Google, please. Hey, fuck you.
I'm sitting here. I'm like, what are we doing?
Robert Kennedy's vice president, please.
Yes.
Yeah, get me your husband on the phone now.
Can I get Pete Bukovic?
Your ex-husband.
He calls up Pete Bukovic and Transportation Secretary.
What are we doing? And dude, there wasn't any construction. There's 2 guys like painting something 3 miles away. I'm like, what are we doing here?
You gotta make sure they're protected, man.
Dude, I was also like, I didn't really want to go to work because we had a client that we had to talk to. There was not good issues. I was like, I'll take my time. I don't feel like getting
When traffic can't make that meeting, guys. Peter's like, give me the most roundabout way to get there. No problem.
As I get older, there's nothing more that I hate to do than have to talk to people that are just absolute idiots. And I don't have the patience anymore. I don't. And as I get older, and I'm getting less and less like willing to do it, and it sucks. Like I literally have to like get all the courage all up in me, like build the courage to have to do these things. It sucks.
Even when I have good news, I feel like you have to like build yourself. Like when you're like so busy working, and then you have to like talk to somebody about their like anything, and you're
dude.
Like even if it's like a good news, like you just gotta be like, hey, how you doing?
Oh yeah,
tell me about your life.
Yeah. Oh dude, it's the worst. And then like I'm not gonna lie to you, on Friday, so I had 2 tax returns for the 2 doctors, and they're all in there, and they're all giggling. There's 7 girls in this doctor's office room, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not giving them the returns today. I'm not going in there. I'm exhausted. I look like this. I had a beard size of Pepsi's at this point. I have no interest. I have bags under my eyes. All these ladies are having a good old time. I'm not going in there. I'm sorry. Just not doing it today. I walked out with the text.
Peter didn't want to be objectified. He's like, I'm not going in there.
They're talking Love is Blind. And I'm just like, you know what? I don't care. Not doing it today.
I don't know what that is, but I'll take your word for it.
I've never watched this show. You know what that is? It's kind of crazy. Chris, we should sign you up for this.
No.
Think about it. Well, I mean,
no.
Would you, if you could find somebody, when you find somebody, do you want to get married?
No.
Honestly, or no?
Honestly.
That's a trap. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
It is a trap.
It's an expensive trap.
Although I think it'd be easier to get rid of Katrina than you guys at this point.
You could.
Yeah, we're like herpes. We're never going away.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You never. You could hope to cure us,
but much more co-mingle with you guys.
Oh, we're all up in you. We're deep in you, Pat. Deep.
We're like a terminal disease. We're never going away.
Wait, Pat or Chris, you could get like some hot, like Russian.
Or I could get the lady that you said is not good looking.
It's true. It's true. It's true. There are a lot of not so good looking ladies on Love is Blind, but there are a few good ones. But they're all. But the only reason you're on there is because you're crazy. You would be the cool.
Are they actually like they're not blind? Obviously, or it's just like blind date.
You're on mute.
Because Love is Blind is they get married like. They just get married sight unseen.
Oh, you just get married to some random person.
Yeah, like you do like the whole thing, and then you see if you're compatible, and then you just get married, and you decide to get married, and then you see how it goes. And most of the marriages don't last.
I can't imagine why.
Some go to distance.
Somebody would sign me up for that show. I'd walk in, I'd be like, "This isn't happening. Bye."
It'd be like, Chris, like it's tax season. Like I can't do this.
Yeah, no. Oh my God, the amount of effort. I just can't imagine. Like, it takes forever for me to ever warm up to somebody. To get married in 30 days. Also, I don't know the true premise of it. I've never really watched an episode, but that's kind of the premise I've gotten from Lauren.
Quick, I mean, 30 days. It's all.
I hope you gotta have a good prenup, right? Like that's
a little quick for Pat Lynch there.
I think mostly like the one. So Lauren was watching one, and the guy, he had hamsters, and he had a kiddie pool that he brought into his house to wash the hamsters. And this lady was from Mexico. She had left her mom and dad to come to America to marry this guy. And I thought to myself, I'm like, this is interesting. I don't know how it would work out. Like in my head, like if I moved to Mexico and this lady was washing her hamsters in a tub in Mexico,
send me back.
I'm out. This is a little weird.
Pepsi sounds like the perfect candidate for the show.
Yeah,
I could see that.
no,
I don't
Pepsi's
know.
taken. He's got multiple ladies after him.
Yeah, I mean,
They all
last year again?
He would bend over on the show, and the ladies would be like, "I want that guy." They go from one girl. They go to like a polygamy show. All the girls would want to marry Pepsi on that show.
Yeah, that'd be your sister wives, Pepsi.
Okay.
You could put a couple of them in the field to work for you, Pepsi.
I saw a police interview this week, Pat. I hope this gets on Dateline at one point. It was crazy. A guy had a long-term girlfriend,
Nice.
and he was marrying another girl.
He was already
Oh,
married.
yeah,
He was
here we
married?
no, he's
No,
married.
He was marrying another girl. He was not
Yes.
married beforehand.
Not married beforehand. Well, he was married at one point, but they got divorced.
Yeah, two
He was-
girlfriends. And
yes.
married the one, not the other one.
He was going to marry the one.
Okay.
But the other one was okay with not getting married. But he did promise her that they were going to get married on Wednesday, and he was marrying the other girl the Saturday before. Weird.
Oh, nice! What a turnaround!
Okay, gotcha. Follow
Craziness. They were out at a bar having a good time. The one he was going to get married to on Saturday, and that night though he went home and killed her.
Why?
Why?
They had a tumultuous relationship. Nobody has any. There was no it wasn't for money. It wasn't for anything. He just shot her.
Just had enough.
It's
It's kind of weird.
craziness.
It's kind of odd that you kill the person you're actually married to. That's unusual.
Yes, that's true.
Usually, it's the one that
I
you're
mean,
married to.
it normally takes
He
more
did.
than
I think
like
he had
20
some
minutes.
like PTSD stuff, and he drug, and he was schizo, and she had him on some certain type of drug. It was really interesting in the sense that like sometimes guys just do really stupid shit most of the time.
I don't think it's just guys. I think it's people in general do stupid shit.
Oh, dude, I think 90% of this world does some really crazy shit.
Exactly.
We don't have none of us are winning the NCAA tournament right now. I was on a date last night with Lauren, and we're doing sushi, and the guy next to me kept checking his phone for the scores, and I think he was engaged because we were talking about their wedding, and but he kept checking his phone, and she's like, "Do you have to keep?" He's like, "I gotta know the scores. I gotta know the scores."
I got to know.
And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I'm so glad that we're not. Is there anything that you're dedicated to that, like at dinner, you're checking 24/7? Like, there's no sport. I love sports. Like, I love watching the Cubs game at the Cubs. I'll watch the Bulls. I haven't actually heard about the Bulls.
Oh, they've been playing like trash. Don't worry.
I know they were down. I heard that they had like a 3-game losing. They get close to 500, and then they shit
lost
the bed.
They lost 3.
They're a shit team.
They won on like Wednesday, and they lost last night. Yeah, you're not missing
Who
much.
they played last night?
They lost to the Brooklyn Nets.
That's not great. Then you hear about Ben Simmons and
I
Shaq.
couldn't name you a single player
Oh.
on the New Jersey. Nets team.
Ben Simmons. So Shaq has a podcast, and his producer was like,
Who doesn't have a podcast?
Who I know these idiots have a podcast. Everybody has a podcast. Shaq's producer, co-host, or whoever asked Shaq who he'd want to meet in the NBA. Like, who would he? And he's like, Ben Simmons, and like it took his co-host back, and he's like, why? He's like, because I want to know how you make $55 million for playing 40 games. And he's like, Shaq, his back is hurt. He's like, suck it up. Here, I'll get you a case of Icy Hot. Get your ass out there. Ben Simmons is done for the season.
Good old product placement right there. That was a nice check. That was solid check.
His back hurts. He's gonna go
He's
have
like, get yourself an ice.
season-ending surgery.
I can see Shaq being like, get yourself some Icy Hot, get a Papa John's pizza, and get out there, baby.
Ben Simmons has made $85 million, and he plays less than a third a season. What
player do you think has got the biggest contract and just totally not lived up to it?
Lonzo Ball. He got a huge
But in all
contract.
sports, I'm just trying to think of like other big contracts.
Oh, that's a good question. Oh my God, let's think about because there's a ton of people. I mean, Hayward, he got a huge contract.
Jamarcus Russell's contract was guaranteed a massive amount, right? For like product to him,
but he was like $40 million at that point, right?
Because like guaranteed, he didn't do shit.
I think he played a season at least. I mean, he didn't do shit.
Garbage though.
Yeah, but okay, so that's different. Like that's a rookie.
But Ben Simmons' injury, right? You're talking about the guys who didn't live to contract.
No,
right?
but so he got signed to like they signed him to a contract.
Okay.
I'm talking like he had potential. It was a bust. Who's been signed and is on absolute for big money and was an absolute bust? And there's a ton. I can't think of any right now. I'm trying to think.
Chris is googling it right now, so let us know.
I'm googling some. They got
Chris,
Jay
some-
Cutler for some reason.
Cutler was okay. He was okay,
Yeah.
and he didn't get like massive money. He never got like $300 million or something. He wasn't that like.
Michael Vick. I don't
No,
understand this
that's
list at all.
bullshit. Come on.
They got Bobby Bonilla at the top of the list. I can see
Oh,
that.
love Bobby Bonilla Day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's but
Love me,
that's more of the Mets being dumbasses.
Love me the Bobby Bonilla Day.
Come on, there's guys.
Who's the guy? The White Sox had Everett Bell. He was a disaster.
Well, I mean, wouldn't you
Gilbert
think?
Arenas, he got a 6-year, $111 million deal, and then found himself sidelined by a knee injury, and then suspended for not so bright idea to bring guns into a locker room.
That was solid choice.
I mean, Kirk Cousins is not a bust, but he's made a ton of money. He's never done anything.
Yeah, but he's played at least. He's like always been on. He's produced. The regular
What do you think, like Le'Veon Bell, any running back? Think about a running back who's gotten a ton of money and done nothing. I feel like that's a big receivers who've gotten big money, done nothing. I feel like the Bears have signed a bunch of people who.
Mike Lennon robbed the Bears of $30 million.
What about Albert Hainsworth? He got a huge contract and barely played for the Redskins.
Let's see. Yeah,
Man, I'm throwing out.
You are throwing out some names. They got Joakim Noah for the Knicks. He got a 4-year, $72 million deal.
Ouch. That one had to hurt. That definitely
Noah
hurt.
appeared in just 53 games for the Knicks.
I feel like it's going to be a
Oh,
baseball
shit.
I feel like it's going to be a baseball contract because baseball contracts are always...
No, I mean, that's probably...
Joakim Noah, good. They got Albert Pujols for 10 years, $240, but I think that the end of that
didn't age well, of course.
Jacoby Ellsbury is a bad one. 7 years, $153 million, and he did not play.
Chris Bryant's not looking good.
No,
it's not looking good.
Oh, here's a good one, a hockey one. These are crazy. The Devils signed Ilya Kovalchuk to a 15-year, $100 million deal in 2013, I think it was. And he retired like 2 years into it.
Oh God!
But you have to give it back though.
No, he got to. But then he didn't have. He eventually had to give it back because then he decided to come back to the NHL and sign with the Kings, and that voided his contract with the New Jersey Devils. But at the time, it was like a dumbass move.
I would just say retired.
Chris Davis got 7 years and $161 million from the Orioles.
Yeah, that's a shit contract. That's a shit contract.
Another one.
Jason Hayward was not great.
Rick DiPietro, he was a goalie that was drafted number 1 back in like 2000, 2001. And he got like a 15-year, $65 million deal, which at the time was a ginormous deal.
Oh, yeah. But still today's that's pretty
How
big
about
deal.
Isaiah Thomas being the president of the Knicks between 2003 and 2008 and paid $128 million?
What?
That's insane. No.
Charlie Weiss going to Notre Dame for $18 million.
Oh, Charlie Weiss got paid to play. He got paid to coach at a lot. He was getting money at Kansas. When he got fired from Kansas, he was getting paid by like 3 people. Oh, the Browns, the Notre Dame, and Kansas City they're sitting on his ass.
There's somebody right now that's getting paid by 3 teams, I think.
Yeah, Peter nailed it with Albert Hainsworth. He signed a 7-year, $100 million deal with the Redskins and only lasted 2 years before being traded to New England.
Insane. I remember he had issues with
Carl Crawford had a bad one.
Yeah, that was not good. That was not good at all.
Here you go, Pat. This one may tingle you a little bit. The Houston Texans signed a quarterback for 4 years and $72 million in 2016. Do you want to venture a guess as to who it was?
Brock Osweiler.
It was Brock Osweiler.
Yeah, I remember him.
That was a guess. We got Allen Houston here, who played a total of 20 games, receiving nearly $20 million annual salary.
Oh, that's what, like $1 million a game, right?
Pretty much.
Nice.
Did you guys hear about Caitlin Clark getting a $5 million offer from the Big Three?
Yes, I did.
That's insane. Okay, and everybody's like, why would you take that? Why would you?
It's more than she'll make in the WNBA.
What? Not with yeah, but it doesn't affect the WNBA. Why would she not take it? First of all, the Big Three. I'm going to be honest with you. I think she would get exposed in the Big Three. I think I don't think she's getting her shot.
Kind of tough.
She's not getting her shot off as easy. Even against old men.
Okay, I got
personally.
One.
True.
I think we're done with this bet.
I got one last one. So Kevin Brown signed the first $100 million pitching contract.
Okay.
Did not basically pitch 1 year after that, and he signed him to an 8-year, $100 million contract.
Nice. And that was guaranteed, ladies and gentlemen.
In baseball, if you're gonna be a player, play in baseball because
if you're a young kid watching this awesome podcast and you were thinking about what sport should I try,
Baseball.
go and play baseball.
Baseball has been very, very good to you, man.
But no, so Caitlin Clark and all the crap on the sports radios this week was like, why would you do that? Why would you not take the $5 million? Okay, so it's after tax it's $2.5 million.
Is it a guaranteed contract?
Oh yeah, she's gonna get paid, and I think it's for 1 season. You know what's even crazier? Barstool offered her $10 million to come play in her rec league. And I don't know if that was just like, like a joke to
Barstool had that kind of money because they were like the pen companies gave them up back to Portnoy because they were doing so poorly.
No, the betting stuff was doing poorly. But
he gave the whole company back to them. They bought the company. I mean, the company was all like the Penn Gaming was using the Barstool as their brand for their sports book, thinking that people would go to that because of the Barstool's name, and it didn't. And he's like, well, I don't want this company then if it's not really working for me, and they get back.
Oh, okay. I don't think they're having issues.
Because he sold it to him for $1, like, which means it's obviously
no, but
but he's got to take on all the debt and all the salaries and everything else. He's got to pay for it.
No, but it's also like if they're ever sold again, Penn's the first one to get paid.
Probably, yeah.
So there's like, if you look at it, it's like he owns the company. Penn has nothing to do with it, but Dave can't sell it.
Do you guys do much? Do you guys ever watch Barstool much at all? I don't watch much at all.
I don't think I've ever watched.
I see some shorts and clips here and there. Like
I know it's very popular with the younger generation.
Yeah. They had that guy who wears like the oversized suit doing interviews, right? Or is that somebody else?
Possibly.
I can't remember. I remember there was like some hot girl on there that they used to like do like an interview with, and I saw like one of those, and I was like, "No, this is stupid."
Yeah. I've seen clips of like the Bustin' with the Boys guys, and I've seen clips of
those guys. Those guys are supposed to be very popular.
There's two other guys. I forgot. I've seen them. They interview like all kind of different people. Like they're like some sports people to like porn stars to like bands and rock musicians. They have some like interesting interviews. I've seen a few.
I like when they do like the question things, like the last like the comedians that like the internet.
Yeah, that one. Ask the internet one. Those are kind of fun. Those are kind of funny. Yeah.
But here, I'm not gonna lie to you. I hate that I'm getting older because my temperament for new things isn't as great as it used to be. Like with Joe Rogan, I used to love watching like people I didn't know. I want to see Joey Diaz. I want to see Tom Segura. I want to see Theo Vaughn. I want to see the guys I know on his podcast. And if they're not people I know, I don't watch. Bustin' with the Boys, I'm out.
That's why you got to, what is it? You got to watch like the little clips, like these 7-8 minute clips, see if you like it, and then
that's why they do these clips sometimes.
Yeah, because it gives you a little. That's why I'm trying to get. I got to be better at the clips, guys. I get it.
Gives you a little teaser. It's
a lot of work.
A little taste.
There's a good clip this week, ladies and gentlemen. Go check it out. Right here. I'm going to put it up. I'm going to try to find this.
If you like the poop, it's a good clip.
I'm going to put it right here. I think it's on the left side. Should be on this side. Should be.
What time's our reservation?
7:30.
7:30. Got time, baby.
I thought it was 7. That's why.
Chris, what do you got for me today? You got anything? You bring anything to the podcast? You always.
I can tell you about the story of the guy who spent $15,000 to be turned into a dog.
Yeah, hit me. I think I've heard this one already though.
And I have another one.
Hit me.
The guy literally paid $15,000 to get like a dog suit made, and
what kind of dog?
I don't know.
He looks like he's a golden retriever.
Is it? Okay. Yeah, they didn't specify.
Yeah, they do seem happy.
And I was looking at the article. I'm like, this has got to be something. Like in my first thing is like, this has got to be some kind of sex thing, right? No, the guy literally thinks should have been born a dog.
This reminds me of that article a few months ago where like the people like pay to go to like I think it was like New Hampshire or Massachusetts, somewhere up like.
Oh, I lied.
To be like babies, like to be.
He looks like a collie dog. He's a collie. He looks like
yeah, it's a definitely collie.
Yeah.
Okay. What did they or Lassie?
Yeah,
he looks like Lassie.
Collies, right? Yeah, it's like reminds me of people that try to be like they go to like pay to be a weekend to be like a baby where they like sit around in a diaper and like
that's
like a sexual thing though.
Well, there's a sexual component one, and there's also like this one where you just go basically you act like a baby for like a weekend.
Yeah, this guy literally just does it because he thinks he should be a dog. He goes out in it.
He identifies as a dog.
I was about to say that he identifies as a dog.
He goes out for walks. He sleeps in a crate.
Does someone want to walk him?
Yeah, like he has somebody walk him on a leash. It's like he's like.
Does he like shit and having the guy pick it up too?
I don't think so. I don't think it goes that far, Pat. But
just asking. I'm seeing how committed he is to this.
The article didn't get too in depth with that, but like it was just like kind of interesting. He's like he's afraid to like he's still anonymous. He's told his friends and family, and they find it kind of weird. And I'm like, I can understand why.
No shit.
If any of you fuckers walk down here looking like a goddamn lassie, I'd kick you in the dog, and I'd walk away.
I'd be like, walk me, Peter.
Chris Vergara is just like charging down the block.
I need you to accept me.
Yeah.
Take my leash and walk me.
But it blew my mind that
I'm out.
But it blew my mind that he likes to put on the suit and sleep in like a dog crate. I'm like, why? It doesn't make any sense to me.
This goes back to
they don't let him out the dog crate.
This goes back to the conversation we had with the guy who worked with us last week, Chris. I think you just have to have compassion for some people who have had things in their lives that we'll never understand.
No,
and I'm not saying you're not. I 100%. I'm not sorry. I'm not coming at you.
Yeah.
But this is the conversation I had with when you talk about people who are just have different things going on in their lives. I think it's instead of getting angry or confused or want to belittle people, I think we just need to have more compassion and understanding what's going on.
Yeah, I saw the article. I was like, I can't just.
And we're not making fun of it. I'm not saying you are, But that's right. Like, yeah, like
I think it's hard to get
makes-
it's hard to get like the why behind that one. I think a little bit.
I
100%.
I think there's a lot of them. There's like whys that you'll
maybe
never quite be able to get.
you know what? I kind of go. Joe Rogan talks about this, and I don't know if he still believes in this, but when he was not as popular, people would like ask him why he has so much compassion for a lot of people, and he's like, if you think about it, everybody used to be a kid, used to be somebody's baby, and we've all have our experiences in life, and you got to imagine some of the weirdest things probably come from some trauma. Most of the time, or something that it's happened.
Yeah, I just wonder how you get from I'm not sure from trauma to wanting to be like a dog. That seems like an odd.
I'm wondering if
he's had trauma and the only thing he ever saw that was happy was the dog in his life.
I'm wondering if he sees like the
shitty-
dog being
that's shitty.
free and like happy and like no worries in the world, and that's kind of like
it could be like a not wanting to accept your adult responsibilities.
100% that too. But yeah, right, Pat. I'm going to the worst degree. Yeah, it could just be. He just sees dogs as the most happy.
For the record, we are all not. Don't
take any
kind
advice.
of
No,
I have no clue. Yeah,
no psychology degrees up in this group.
No, I'm not trying to give any advice, but it's good to think. I don't think anybody talks about this. Like, why not have a conversation like, hey, why do things like this happen? It's good to like get your theories on it and our theories on it because we have no idea. Instead of just being in the dark and just being like giggling to ourselves,
or being like Peter, who says he's going to kick somebody in the dog nuts if they come down the stairs dressed as a
Chris,
dog.
I swear to God, I will. I'll probably have to choke you with
Chris,
this.
what kind of dog would you be if you were dressed like a dog?
That's a great question.
I think he'd be a Shih Tzu.
I would think I would be like a golden doodle.
Golden doodle.
Yeah,
I could see that.
What's the kind of dog is
maybe
hairless?
Great Dane.
There's not a he'd be a hairless cat. You dumb dumb.
Can we make a hairless dog?
You'd be a Chihuahua because you just
Oh
never
yes,
shut
yeah.
up.
Yep, 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 yep.
You're a little lippy.
If I had any skills in editing, I would turn him into a Chihuahua right now. Any skills?
Thankfully, you don't.
I don't. Oh my God, that was so
Probably
good.
turn yourself into one before me. It doesn't work. I couldn't get it right,
For
guys.
show.
And Peter's a Chihuahua for half the episode.
And then I do have like two other things.
Please.
The one's really short.
Hey, Chris, I'm sorry, not to cut you off. Thank you for coming prepared to the podcast.
The one I heard about on the radio last night and haven't had a chance to look into, but I find it kind of funny, and I'll save that one for the end. But the other article I did read this week was the guy who got the first Neuralink transplant.
Is that the one that you could like?
The Elon Musk company.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Where they put like the computer processing thing in your brain.
Yep.
And like they finally like showed like who the guy was and everything, and he's a paraplegic. He's paralyzed from the neck down.
Okay.
But like he's able to like look at a computer screen now and control like a mouse, and he's able to play chess. The first thing he did once he was able to use the thing, was spend all night playing a video game, and I can't remember the name of the game. It was something weird.
Wait, so sorry to like he's got the chip in his head, right? Or something?
He's got a chip in his head.
Can he
yes.
now control like some kind of his body at all, or can he control something else?
No,
or?
he looks like so I don't think they're hoping. They haven't gotten this far yet, but they're hoping that like the implant will bypass the part of the spine that's damaged and allow you to start moving like the extremities.
Other parts of your body.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, but they haven't gotten that far. But like he's able to like now look at like a computer screen or his TV and move a mouse with just like his eyes.
Okay.
And get it to go to where he wants. So he's been
So
able
he
to
couldn't move. He couldn't do that before.
Exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
you'd have to have other people do that kind of stuff. So he's able to play like chess online.
Oh, that's
play
awesome.
video games.
That just gives him such a better capacity for life.
Exactly. They're hoping that like this chip will help with like people who are blind. Like they'll be able to be like wear some glasses and they'll be able to see, which is crazy.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like like all this kind of crazy stuff, and it's like
So, I mean, for whatever Elon Musk is, there are a lot of good things. It also does scare me though a little bit. Like,
well, yeah, like
this stuff, we're getting so much.
Isn't the big thing again? Like you have to they tested on a bunch of animals right beforehand. That's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
big
and
backlash against it too.
So like,
but-
there's a lot of backlash because like they thought that like they haven't done like very ethical treatment of these animals.
yeah.
But the other thing is like other people are really pissed off because they feel like they're trying to like play God and like override God's like it's like whoa.
Well, I mean, it's one thing if you're like, I mean, if you have an
it
accident,
is a little scary.
Like, I mean, to me, like if you have an accident that causes it, I mean, that's not. Is that an act of God, or is it just you made an accident, right?
it's an act of God to them, Pat.
I guess.
Hey, it's God has a plan for everything, Pat. All right.
Yeah, until you're the person that can't walk anymore.
God gave us into your life,
I think it's very easy to tell people like it's God's plan when it's not them.
Hey
being
guys,
affected.
you guys can be my God. If that happens, throw the Neuralink in my body.
No, we're gonna leave your ass paralyzed.
No, you know what's the scariest thing?
It's God's
ever?
plan, Peter.
There is a lot of people, unfortunately, who go like completely, like their whole body is like pretty much dead, but their brain is still there. And they've just a lot of people who've been like who don't take people off life support, so they're just sitting there day after day, just nothing going on in a shell of a body that can't do anything but just lay there. And they've realized that these people still have brainwaves, and like they're still alive and they're thinking, but they're thinking in a body that's stuck. That scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like with what Stephen Hawking said to a degree. He couldn't move his body, but his brain was still fully functioning.
Yep.
This is what they're looking like, full body reboot or something like that.
Yeah. Pat, what this Aztec vibe going on here on the left? I know, ladies and gentlemen, you can't take. I'll take a picture. I'll throw it up here. What in the shit is all this?
Oh, I got those from when I was in Mexico.
With like Frank or
yeah.
You bought those?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Well, I bought them for my parents, and they came back with me somehow here.
Nice. Okay.
But they're from the ruins in Tulum.
Okay.
Look it
all
up.
Right.
Read about Peter.
All right, I'll give you my last story that
okay.
I had not done any research on. I heard it on the radio and I found it absolutely.
I'll make sure
hilarious.
I ask a bunch of follow-up questions.
Yeah, please do, because I have no answers for them. Sage Steele of ESPN Glory has her own podcast.
She's a little.
She's apparently out there. Yep. Apparently, she's a little out there because she is of the mindset that Joe Rogan and Dana White are the same person. And I got a little giggle out of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't see that one.
Is she like? Was she just?
Peter, I have no clue.
I have to look up who this person is. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You'll
know who she is when you see her.
Sage Steele.
Yeah, Sage Steele.
Like sage, like the spice.
Yep.
Okay. Oh,
I would love to see Dana White on Joe Rogan's podcast. That would be great. He's done a lot of podcasts recently.
I'm not familiar with this. Lady.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay.
So she thinks that they're okay. Cool. Good for her.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, she's like tweeted it out, or she's like.
Have you ever seen them in the same? That's why he's on the podcast, Peter, because of the same person.
It could be.
Yeah.
Chris, what time are we at, Bubba?
We are at 47 minutes.
All right. Well, we'll fit. You know how we always end this podcast. We'll feel good.
With a few your garbage
Dana
questions.
White is Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is Dana White.
We got a feel good stories. This first one's kind of funny.
No questions today for garbage?
No, you shut up.
I want to do.
You're going on the mute.
Lord, it's me again, Margaret. Okay.
So here.
Okay, Chris.
I'll give you a little more detail on it. She mistook Dana White for Joe Rogan.
Oh.
No, that makes that story
more sense.
not great. All right.
Makes you seem less crazy.
Americans are paying it forward hundreds of times every year now. And funny story, actually. Friday, Chris, I, and Pepsi always get Dunkin' Donuts. And our cost, our 3 large drinks is particularly usually around $16. The guy in front of us paid for me. I was like, "Oh, that's so nice of you." They're like, and he's like, "Have a good," and I'm like, "Oh no, I'll pay forward." And I'm like, the cheap in me was like, I don't want to do this, but I'm like, I don't want to be the guy who doesn't. So I'm like, no, get the guy behind me. Guess how much the guy behind me was?
$34.
$4.11.
Oh.
Now
Winner, winner, chicken.
I've heard.
How bad do you feel for the guy who's in front of me?
But I've heard things where like people like they run a scam like that. They'll put they'll pay you for it, right, Peter? And then the car behind them is like racking it in.
Yeah. It's a car that
they're like spending $100, and you're like, and they're like in cahoots.
I mean, oh well.
Just saying. Oh, you say that now, Peter. If you got $100,
I went up giving the card.
Peter opens that door, comes back. They're like, you motherfucker. Oh, I know Peter be like, I'm going back up, coming out of the booth.
No, I would have. I literally, my butt was tight giving my card because I knew it could have been bad.
Peter started driving off and was like, nah, I got to do it.
Exactly. Can't be that guy.
Thanks.
Let's see here. Teaching teens how to understand their feelings is key to helping them grow and mature, Pat. God, if somebody could have taught you how to understand your feelings, what a man you would be today.
I'm very in touch with my feelings.
Oh, we got to talk to your mother about this.
Pat's a robot. He doesn't have feelings.
Yeah, I don't need to have feelings.
Yep. Kubacha can mimic the effects of fasting in the body. Ooh. Lauren sent me an article that fasting is not as good as it. I don't know. I got to read it, but it's only one study that's done it.
I think I read an article. I'm not sure how true it is. Like they say intermittent fasting causes heart problems, but I'm not sure the science and that's long term.
Yeah. That's, I think, the article I saw. I don't care. I'm still going to go with that.
I'm sure it can't do any more damage than the Coors Lights you drink on a Saturday night.
8-year-old boy becomes the youngest player to beat a chess master. He said, it felt amazing, Patrick.
Yeah.
What did you do when you were 8 years old, besides shit your pants?
I was not shitting my pants at 8 years old.
Yeah, you were.
You don't know me. Don't judge me.
Let's see here. Let's give some more good ones, Chris. Let's see. A beautiful idea. The French town is making its cemetery a source of solar energy.
Okay, cool.
Interesting.
Why'd you laugh at that, Pat?
I mean, you pay a lot of money for plots, and then they drop a solar panel on your ass.
Maybe you get some of that refund. You know, get the credits.
Do you get a discount for
maybe you get some of that energy from the plot that you're
trying to juicy back up Frankenstein style.
It was kind of sad. So recently I was at a cemetery, and sometimes the cemeteries are because they don't. This is a crazy thought. They don't really do any more of the above ground headstones anymore.
They're all flat.
You know why?
Because the lawnmower kick over them.
Yeah. What lazy mother? Like, really? I can't have like a 3-story memorial to myself.
Nah.
Pierre's like, I want the 3-story memorial.
I'm not gonna have kids. I'm gonna have a ton of money when I die. I want it to go into being the most ridiculous.
You want to be that guy that's on the corner. You ever go up by like the White Eagle there? On Milwaukee, sort of where the playbook's at. You ever go that way?
I know where you're talking about.
So if you ever next time you drive up Milwaukee
yeah.
that way, look on the cemetery. There's this guy that had when he I remember they passed away. It was like 10, 15 years ago. They have this gigantic monument for him, and it's like, damn, he's right by the gate, the entryway. It's right to the left of it, and it's just this monstrous.
That's
thing.
what I want to be.
That's Peter.
And I can't do that. But so when I was at the cemetery, I'm stepping all over people.
We'll put
sorry.
We'll put a John Coors Light bottle on top of yours.
That would be great.
With a keg that anybody can come drink beer.
Nice.
Do you guys have any interest in the solar eclipse? It kind of sucks that we're not going to be able to see it this time.
I thought we could see it.
No, Indianapolis is the farthest.
I heard that it's like 94% here, and or 90% or something, that you'll be able to see it visible here in Chicago.
When is it? It's next week.
Can you go get Lauren? She's at the front door.
Is it next
Katrina
week?
doesn't want to talk to her.
Is it next week or the week after? Katrina?
I think it's next week. What's up?
Katrina's probably upstairs.
Okay, let me get you one last one here. We'll get you out of here. All right, let's see. This is just I'm gonna go one more after this. California redwoods to be first national park co-managed with Native American tribe that can use it as its own.
I've been there. It's
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah. What'd you do there, Pat?
We walked through the trails in there.
This is crazy, and then we'll end on this one. Couple orders a cake replica of their dog, but it is so realistic they couldn't cut it.
Okay.
There goes $1,000 down the drain. Because let me tell you what, there ain't nothing cheap anymore. You can't get, dude. All right, I'll rant on here and we'll get out of here. So I'm looking, for an engagement party.
Feel good stories.
There's a pizza place by us. Place is never overly busy. It's nice, not great. Want to do an engagement party there. If an outdoor place, we'll do a big, in and out.
Is this a place that we've been to recently?
No, you've never been there, probably. It's on Northwest Highway. It's called Zaz.
Okay.
They want it for a pizza party. They want to charge, and with alcohol, they want to charge me over $2,000. Nice. The pizza party alone was $1,200. Are you out of your mind? For pizza and appetizers.
Love it.
Get out of here. Go, she's probably in the back. Find her. Be better, Pepsi. Dude, listen. There's nothing cheap in this world anymore. I can think about if we just went. I took everybody out to Roots Pizza and I bought 40 pizzas. There's no way it's going to be $2,000.
But you have the private space, Peter.
Yeah, you got to have it.
Your cousin.
I'm so sick.
Just have it on just have it like a Monday night.
Pat, you told me today that most educated people want to make money. What are we doing wrong?
A lot.
Get me out of here, Chris.
The Illini were down 6 at halftime, Peter, and now they let up a 15-0 runner down by 20. We'll see you next week. Bye.